Anything?
Live from the Tucson Arena, this is University of Arizona Hockey. It's time to drop the puck with Timothy Gasson, the voice of the Wildcats. So let's head to the action with Arizona Wildcats Hockey. Live from the Tucson Arena, this is University of Arizona Hockey. It's time to drop the puck with Timothy Gasson, the voice of the Wildcats. So let's head to the action with Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Test, test, test. Hello, my name is Sebastian Janik, and I'm joined by Matt Tiart here at the Tucson Arena, where the Wildcats are taking on the Utah Utes in their second game of a back-to-back homestand. Yesterday afternoon, the team won in a shootout in a 2-1, but they're looking to get a regulation win here today in another afternoon game. Matt, you've called some hockey at Clemson before. These early starts, do you think they ever take an impact on the players, compared to those evening games?
Yeah, I think they do. Sometimes you just get into a rhythm, so it's a little bit of a shell shock, but overall I think it's a good shock. So.
And yesterday the Wildcats were able to put 40 shots on the Utah Utes goalie. Only one of them made it past him. Definitely some great chances in overtime again, but a hard-fought game. You haven't got to see too much of the team, but is there anyone who stood out to you in what you have seen, and any players on this program that impressed you?
Yeah, so Churro is just a brick wall. It's incredible actually to see him play and see the way he works and his mindset towards the game. And then, of course, Cusinelli. He just loves to put pucks in the back of the net. So.
And tonight, this afternoon, Churro is not going to be in net. We're going to have the 1B with Volsic after a great night from Churro. But we'll be looking to get back at it here today and get a regulation win for the Cats. We will be sending you live to the game just here in a couple minutes.
Starting at left wing, number 10, Dawson Marshall. At right wing, number 12, Matthew Marquis. At the center position for your Cats, number 11, Will Josephson. At left defense, number 17, Ben Jones. At right defense, number 13, Matthew Hall. And in the nets for your Wildcats, number 35, Nolan Nivelsick. The head coach of your Wildcats is Chad Berman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask that you please rise and face the south goal for today's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome in once again as we are getting ready to go at Tucson Arena. A little bit of afternoon delight for you here on the ice down below us. The second in a back-to-back between the Arizona Wildcats and the Utah Utes. And yesterday, these two teams battled to a tie through overtime, which means both get a point in the conference standings. They did go to a shootout, which the University of Arizona Wildcats won, but does not count in the standings. So both teams essentially ending up with a tie from yesterday's game. Starting in net for the Utes today, it will once again be Anderson Landon, and he is now 4-2-1 on the season with an .892 save percentage and a 3.58 goals against average. It'll be Nolan Bavalsic getting the start in net for the University of Arizona here this afternoon as he splits with Anthony Churro on the back-to-back. And Sebastian, we saw what a great job Churro did yesterday. You know they're going to be looking for more of the same out of Bavalsic.
They absolutely are. They see him as a guy who's their 1B, who's just as capable as Churro. But the performance Churro put up yesterday is going to be hard to top. They're going to hope to, keep Bavalsic, engaged, but not let him get too involved in the play because they want to keep this in the Utes' end as much as they can again today after putting 40 shots on net yesterday afternoon.
Also in the lineup today, Ryan Heck will draw in, wearing number 19. You will see him out here, and I talked to Chad Berman briefly before today's game, and he said, you know what, this line he's starting with, the 10, 11, 12 line, liked them a lot yesterday, and we're going to see more of them.
In my post-game interview, he said, maybe we should have played them a little bit more. They were probably the team's best line yesterday. They work really hard along the boards, and they just never give up on battles. And that's what you need from an identity line that can spark some energy, especially here in the first shift of the game.
So the puck is sent on down into the Utes end. Both teams changing up that starting line of personnel. Yesterday it was Utah that came out with the energy and pushed Arizona back a little bit. And we really haven't seen that yet here in the opening minute or so, although now Utah pushing the puck into that Arizona end of things, trying to get it going. Well, Lowell has it, trying to rag it around behind his own net, coughs it up. It's fed to the right point, now over to the left side. Here's Nix looking to shoot, Dix looking to shoot, and couldn't get it through. Off a shin pad there. The Utes going to the black uniforms today.
Looking a little bit reminiscent in the first minute here, but if you saw the game yesterday in overtime, the Utes had some very tired legs. You got to think they're going to feel those again today. And this is another grudge match for these teams. They don't like each other much. They're very familiar with each other, and it's going to be another battle here this afternoon at the TCC.
Boy, that is the understatement of the year, right? These two teams already have history. It's only been 3 meetings, but there is a lot of dislike as Bovalsic decides to hang on to the puck. And I will say this, compared to the pace of yesterday's start as it concerns Arizona, I think the Wildcats have looked better here in the first minute 39.
Yeah, the first 4 minutes of yesterday's game, the Cats were hemmed in their zone. They weren't really able to break out cleanly. They seemed to be, their assignments were a little bit off. They're definitely coming out sharper here this afternoon for another 1 p.m. start.
And so now the Wildcats trying to move it out. They cannot. Kept in there at the left point by Paolo. Puck up in the air. It stays on side. Now Arizona at least able to get it to center. And now moving up the left side. Oh, offside is Litwin. Takes a little bump after the whistle there. But it was also getting a little feisty yesterday towards the end of the game.
It was. Number 20, Brody Selman, who had an absolutely incredible game on the PK 5-on-5. He got a little bit chippy with Dylan Dix there at the end of the third period. This teams, they don't like each other. There's a lot of verbal back and forth on those benches. There's more than going on than what you just see on the ice between these two teams.
And right now, Arizona trying to move itself to the attack and figure out if they can get something going here in the early going. They did score first yesterday, but there were only 2 goals in regulation. It was 1-1 all the way, as we mentioned, through the overtime, and then the shootout kind of gave that little bit of a decision, but doesn't count in the conference standings. If you're just joining us, each team instead is credited with a tie. Puck driven in from center. Bovalsic will blocker that one away to the near side. And now down from the left side, skating it around is Moeller. He'll feed it around to the right point. Slid over to the left side. Dix looking for a seam, lets it go, and Bovalsic fought it off with a blocker out of play.
It was a good job of Bovalsic to fight through that screen, make sure he gets a shot at, gets a look at the shooter and is able to get his blocker on that one. I think the Cats, though, we learned after the game yesterday, they hit 5 posts, 40 shots, 5 posts. You got to think if they bring the same effort here today, 1 or 2 more has got to go in. That shooting percentage is going to level out.
Well, they certainly hope so. You like to think on home ice especially you would get those breaks, get the friendly bounces off the post. Meyer chipping it around onto the near side. Here's Johansson. He'll flip up to the right wing point. Hole sending it over the left side. Ristert coming in. There's a save made by Anderson. I don't know if he saw it, but he was in the right place. Got that left pad on it, cleared out and down the ice.
And that's how the Cats generated some of their best chances yesterday, was firing shots at the pads, getting some rebounds. Anything up in his chest, he was just capturing, bringing it down for a face-off, and you weren't getting a second chance.
Face-off coming back into the Utes end of things here. Looks like they called that one as an icing. Face-off will be to the right of Anderson in that Utes cage. Got a back Meyer up there, and now the draw one back. Here's Hole. He'll send it around that left rim. Hit the linesman, though. That's a continuing theme from yesterday we saw.
Yeah, they're getting peppered these last 2 days.
Poor guys.
There's going to be a couple ice packs on hold for these refs. But both these teams like to go up the boards. Both these teams like to use those outlets, use their speed up the boards, and that's usually where the linesman and the ref are going to hang out.
Well, that's that extra player out there. The boards are always there. Their stick is always on the ice.
It's a constant obstacle. It's like a training drill out there.
That's right. You got to use them to your advantage, not to your disadvantage, that's for sure.
Back out here with this 10, 11, 12 line.
Well, try to bring some energy here, but Utah looking to dig it out of the zone. That's King firing it up that left wing side. And now the Light brothers moving in. Here's Ethan on the left wing. Nice job. They converged on him very quickly there. Not only on the back check for Marquis, but Edgecoke, nice sense to close that play down.
Yeah, with skill guys like that do have the hands to dangle through the offensive zone, just put the body on them, take them off the puck, and get some support from a teammate to pick that up.
Utes able to bounce it out to center. They cough it up there. And still kind of fighting for possession here. It's turned back in. Bavalsic tried to sweep it behind his net. Didn't get much of it, but enough to get it around to Timor. Timor, an ill-advised pass up the middle that fortunately is tipped out to center.
Uncharacteristic from Timor. He's been so solid for them this entire season, but luckily Marquis is able to get a stick on it, pop it up, not let the Utes get possession, but they're going to be getting, the Utes are getting their top line off here.
As they move off, we did see a lot of King and the Light brothers yesterday. I wonder if they're, especially in that third period, they got a lot of ice time. I wonder if they're going to try to get them more shifts here in the early going to try to upset that balance of power.
I've got to think they were getting triple shifted at some point. They seem to be on the ice the entire period at times, and they're probably looking to get one early because their legs might hold up for an entire 60 minutes.
Lowell moves in, a puck turned over, shot, and Cusinelli missed on the blocker side. Great hit by Lowell, forcing that turnover. And then Malafronte put it up top, but Cusinelli just missed, trying to go low blocker.
Anyone who knows Cusinelli knows his wrist shot is one of his best characteristics, and I think farther into this season, he's not missing that shot very often.
And now here's a chance in front. Bavalsic with the same puck is behind him. They score. Jamming the rebound into the goal mouth. It's Otto Chow who's able to put it in. And a great job there by the Utes. They just went hard to the Arizona net, and the puck goes in. 1-0 Utah.
And that was the Wildcat strategy yesterday, was to score goals in that blue paint. And the Utes there get the transition going. They're able to skid up a clean breakout over the blue line, get a shot on net, crash the net, and get one past Bavalsic here early.
5.5 minutes into the first period, Utah claims the lead. That's a big goal for the Utes.
We saw yesterday how deadlocked these teams were for such a long time. This is a big answer here in the first period. The Cats cannot let themselves go down 2-0 against
Otto
this team.
Chow give the assist to number 11, Shea Landakuzik. That's Chow from Landakuzik. Time of the Utes goal, 5 minutes, 30 seconds in the first period.
And so the 1-0 lead. Let's see how Arizona responds here. You'd like to think they'd bring some energy here, come right back with it. And we'll see if they're able to push back. They'll bring it up on the right wing side. Here's Orfanos trying to drive wide. Stops in the half wall, feeds into the slot. A rolling puck, a backhand towards the net. Didn't get through, but not out. Orfanos through traffic, sent it high. That one tipped on the way through there, but U of A trying to swarm a little bit in the offensive zone. Orfanos through traffic, and that forces Anderson to make a save.
I don't think Anderson saw that first shot from Orfanos. He didn't react at all until the puck hit the boards. Great hit there by Orfanos.
Utah able to bring the puck out to center. They will flip it down after some good pressure from the Wildcats. A bouncer, Bavalsic, trouble with it. It ends up in the corner, fortunately. And
Matthew Hull with a great support there for his goalie. Bavalsic just couldn't handle it cleanly, but Hull gets in there and makes sure nothing dangerous happens.
puck is turned right back down by the Utes. Tracking it down is Timor, and he'll move it on to the right wing side and ahead 2-on-2. Here they come. Johansson weaving to his left. Poked off his stick. He has to roll back for it. Feed the left point. Shot tipped in a goal. Just wide. Rebound off the outside of the net. Oh, what a chance there. Just pushed wide by Ryan Heck. Heck in his first game of the year. And, boy, did a nice job there getting to the net. Unfortunately, he just ran out of real estate at the side of the goal. Couldn't get to it quickly enough.
Yeah, that puck just kept trickling down towards that goal line. He just didn't have an angle on that shot, but heck of an effort by Heck there to make sure a diving shot gets something keep going in the offensive zone.
We have played 8:37 into this first period. Pardon me, 7:37 in the first period. 1-0 Utah with the lead. But Arizona trying to find its momentum here as it's flung back into the Wildcats' end. Puck turned over in the slot again. There's a wrist shot. Save Bavalsic. Rebound swept to the near side corner.
And we talked yesterday about how these teams were not friendly at the end of that game, and Utah has come out here looking to make a statement. They've been, I think, the better team so far through the first 9 minutes, and it's going to be up to this Wildcats team to respond to a team that came ready to play in the first period.
Icing against the Utes. That's a tough one. That's a tired unit out there for Utah right now.
Yeah, on the first period, if you've got guys with sticks on their knees, that's kind of representative of what these back-to-back afternoon games can kind of take out of players. I just really want to see the Wildcats do what they did yesterday, get down below the goal line, generate things from behind the net, get pucks on Anderson, and hope you can bang one in past him.
They tie it up in the face-off circle here, stepping down from the right point. Fisher trying to keep it alive, and it's cleared out past him. Cusinelli backing him up all the way into his own zone. The Wildcats will go for the reset here, 8.5 into the first, 1-0 Utes. Shively with a lead pass on the left wing, missed its target. King will back it off to his D while that line settles itself. Big check on the near side by Lowell, trying to throw a little body here, and boy, Arizona might be able to find a little momentum in the physical game perhaps.
Jesse Lowell, that is one part of his game that he thrives in, and going after Dylan Dix early, not the worst idea when he was a big hitter for them last night.
Hull with a nice rush to feed it in front. Nobody there for it, unfortunately, but right back the other way. There's a shot by Light, and that is held by Bavalsic. As Ethan Light cutting across, took it from brother Wyatt. Letting it go from that far out, though, especially when the goalie sees it, pretty low percentage chance.
Yeah, I think Bavalsic, when he's sharp, is going to get that every time. I think one thing we saw there after that play was Ethan Light and Matthew Hull having a pretty long conversation, mostly on Ethan Light's end, but that's part of his game. He's known as a bit of an agitator. The Light brothers like to get under some skin, and early there's a lot of chatting.
Face off to the right of Bavalsic is controlled by the Utes. They'll try to feed that one along on the near side. Puck is held in. Nope, scoots out at the left point. Fired right back in by King. That'll give the Wildcats a chance to reset here. Breakout. Looking up the left side. Hole. Still hanging on to it. Now he goes left wing with the pass. Selman trying to drive wide all the way behind the net. Wraps it in front of the slot and off the heel of Vorfanos' stick. Oh, if that pass was in the wheelhouse, what a scoring chance.
And Selman, again, setting that up all by his own, essentially. Bringing the puck over the blue line, getting around the net, using his speed.
Meanwhile, Utah coming back the other way, trying to generate something. It's played up the wall. Selman trying to push it out. Off his skates, it does go out of the zone.
And we're seeing a lot of the Light brothers and King here again early. They like rolling that line out every single time they feel like they're ready to go.
Well, just about halfway through this first period here, it is 1-0 Utah. And I'm sure the Utes would like to stretch that lead out a little bit. Yesterday, they played mostly from behind, tied it in the third with a late power play goal.
And I think special teams are going to be a big factor here tonight. We didn't see a lot of penalties yesterday, but between the two the Wildcats had getting killed off and then the one that scored on by the Utes, special teams played a huge factor yesterday.
Langenberger tried to dangle his way through. That one didn't quite work out, and now the Utes are going to have to take it back out to center. Everybody's going to readjust here, and a hit thrown out there at center as Arizona is trying to pick it up. Oh, boy. That was a hit from behind on Meyer and a big crunch there from Marshall.
And Meyer got caved in there.
It is picking up a little bit here in the physical end of things, and now once again Marshall out there, supported by Josephson and Marquis. On the right side, it's slid back up the wall, and instead it'll be moved out by the Utes. They'll drive wide on that left wing side. Carrying it wide is Mickle. Mickle tried to wrap it around but lost the handle. Fisher banking it up towards Marshall. Marshall moving it on ahead. Had Heck up there with him, and actually Ryan Heck getting a chance to take a tool on this line instead of Marquis.
Yeah, being that seventh forward, I think he's going to draw into some different places throughout the afternoon, depending on where they need him. He had that really good first chance, and the Wildcats here are just really struggling to get some consistent offensive zone time. It just looks like the Utes are just a little bit sharper right now when it comes to having sticks in lanes and being able to break up passes and shut down opportunities.
It has been a little difficult to really get things going, I'll say, consistently for Arizona. They've had a few here and there, but they have not had as much zone time as they would like. Certainly, they're going to try to figure out a way to get things going here, and now they're kind of rotating the lines a little already. Josephson might have just been stuck out on the change there.
We've got Malafronte out here, Cusinelli and Lowell.
And that's been the top line here right along.
Boy, they'd love to get those guys rolling, that's for sure.
For what their skill level is and how good of players they are not close to performing their best yet. And you know, that breakthrough game is going to come at some point. It's just a matter of time for these guys, especially Cusinelli, who has had so many great opportunities and here he goes again up the left wing boards.
Slides it over, pass a little too far for Orfanos. Man, George Orfanos, he's needed a boat oar to get to some of these, unfortunately, but he's on it again on the right wing side. He'll try to swing it up to the left point. Shot coming in, sticked aside by Anderson.
And Orfanos hasn't had the handles yet, but he's finding those soft areas and the gaps in the defense and getting himself open. It's just a matter of being able to get an actual shot off when they're trying to find him with the puck.
Right now, the Utes trying to keep the pressure on here as the thumping commences. 6:47 to go in the first. 1-0 Utah. Hedgecock will play it back. I like the patience here from the Wildcats. If they don't like what they see, they do try to reverse it a little bit and maybe slow things down in the breakout, but they turn it over, and now here's Ethan Light in on the left wing, drags her around to the backhand and scores. Ethan Light came in, faked Bavalsic down to the ice, goes to the backhand, and makes it 2-0 Utah.
He was hanging out there around that blue line, just waiting for a cherry pick up the ice to get a breakaway, and that's exactly, he gloves that puck down, gets in all alone on a line change from the Wildcats and buries that one.
And we saw them doing that in the overtime, especially yesterday, really just kind of goal hanging on the other end and waiting for that breakout pass, and that was what Light did there. He slid in behind the D and was able to use his speed to get in with a good scoring chance from the wing.
They were looking for that line to make an impact immediately, and they have here.
Light. Give the assist to number 13, Wyatt Light. That's Light from Light. Time of the Utah goal, 13 minutes, 32 seconds in the first period.
Well, this is going to be interesting to see here. Now Arizona has not been down 2 to this Utah team this weekend. As I mentioned, they led most of the game, and now they're trying to push right back in. On that left wing side, Lusby trying to battle the puck free in the corner, looking for a little bit of help over there. Utah has won the battle for now. Lusby goes to throw a hit, ends up falling down there, but the puck kept in up top. Johansson into the slot. There's a chance for Shively off a skate. Shively stops, goes back down the right wing wall. Looking for a little help there. Lusby trying to support in that pile as well as Johansson. Puck chipped out right in front of the net, but backhanded out of trouble.
And down 2-0 early, you're going to need your defensemen to activate and get up in the rush. 5 and 6, you've got Shively and Fisher. Both are good IQ, two-way defensemen who can break pucks out. And they're going to need to get involved in the rush and in the offense here. The Wildcats just have not been able to test Anderson nearly enough.
He really has had a bit of a quieter day out there so far. Here's a chance coming in, tipped wide, rebound right at the side of the net. Anderson able to pin it there, and now we're going to get a little pushing and shoving here as Marshall went to the side of the net, and now Josephson is tied up in that pile. Yeah, Heck doing a little pushing on the backside as well.
I think that verbal back and forth is going to be coming out of the Utes a lot. They put up too early. You got to think they're going to try to get in the heads of the Wildcats here, but they're going to have to be disciplined to know that if they take any penalties, they're risking going down 3-0 in the first.
Well, and it's to their benefit, Sebastian, the Utes, to stay out of the box and to just be the aggressor, but not the retaliator. They want Arizona to retaliate and take those penalties, put them even further behind the 8 ball. And the Wildcats right now have to be smart. There's a lot of hockey left to play in this one.
Yeah, you can't let those wires get crossed too early, start making plays out of anger instead of doing the right thing, the smart thing with the puck. And this is going to be a big, character game for this Wildcats team.
And so Arizona on the rush here, trying to get things going for themselves. Driving the right side, Jones leaving it off in the half wall, but unfortunately it didn't connect. And now right back come the Utes. Well, all by himself, actually, is Paulo, but he gets around Hull. Lost it into the corner, though. Centers it, but Hull was there to clean up. And he'll move it ahead. Malafronte skating up the left side. He's got some speed, entering the zone. Leaves it onto the left wing, goes to the net. And the feed for Marshall didn't get to him. Marshall in the corner after it. Looking for a little help over there. Puck goes up that left side wall, and Utah able to chip it off the dasher and out to center.
Marshall and Josephson were out there for a little bit there, stuck on it, but they get the change now, and the Wildcats get their top line out.
4 minutes left to go here as Anderson gloves that one down and elects to hang on. And you know what? That's perfect for Utah. Anderson doesn't need to move that puck. Control the pace, take the face off, and let your centers do the work.
Yeah, there's no, maybe if you're up 5-0, you drop that puck, try to get a quick breakout, but right there he's going to slow the play down, get a face off. And this is where the Wildcats need to, if you're going to punish them for, letting that face off come in the offensive zone, you got to win this face off and make something out of it.
Orfanos is out there with Cusinelli and Lowell right now. Cusinelli has to fire it back in. Wildcats tag it up. Music on the rush right side. He got checked off and had to hurry and move it to center. That's something you like to see the Wildcats do. Finish those checks, take away the time and space, especially on the outlet passes for the D. Don't let the Utes have a clean breakout.
Now you want them second guessing whenever they see a defenseman coming, that they know they're going to finish that hit.
In behind the play, Cusinelli was pulled down on his way to the net, looking for a scoring chance. We're going to have an interference call against the Utes, and the first power play of the afternoon belongs to the Wildcats.
And this is where they were able to establish themselves yesterday. We're on those 2 early power plays in the first period. They didn't score on them, but they had some great chances and were able to get some confidence back, and they're going to need it here.
16:28 time of the interference call. And boy, this is a key power play. It's not the hockey game by any means, but certainly if U of A can make something happen here, that would be huge.
Penalty on number 5, Dylan Dix. 2 minutes for interference. Time of that penalty, 16 minutes, 28 seconds.
There's a shot by Selman. Anderson had to come up with a big save there. And once again, Arizona setting it up. Moving the puck as quickly as they can right now. Backdoor feed, a bouncing puck comes through. Selman a shot. Anderson pad save. Orfanos feeding it up top. Fisher back to Orfanos, cross ice. Selman on it. Back across. Orfanos. Far dot. Wrister off the goal post. Oh my goodness. The posts continue. Selman a shot. Anderson save. Rebound there. He covers.
I think the Wildcats are going to have to invest in some new nets. I think there's something going on with these goalposts. That was a great shot by Orfanos, and just can't quite beat Anderson high, glove side. And, I think one part of this penalty is that interference call, Cusinelli goes down a bit hard. That's your captain. That's a guy who's been a leader in this room this whole time. And when you see a guy like that, drawing a penalty, taking the hurt to put this team on the power play, you want to reward him for that effort.
Puck cleared out as the Utes win the draw. Move it out to center. Well, you hope Arizona doesn't get in its own head about these goalposts.
Yeah, maybe just start aiming for them, just like in golf. If you can't hit the fairway, just aim for it and see what happens.
There you go. Utah able to clear the puck out. Try to do something at center here and just kill some time. Now they'll fling it down. 51 seconds to go in the power play. Utah 2, Arizona nothing. 2:17 and counting, and now it's turned over. A shorthanded chance, and type of Volsic save, and Hull took it off the goal line. Oh, that puck just got past him. Landa Cusick has had just an incredible game so far, and what a great shorthanded chance he had there.
Generated all that on a one-man forecheck, a one-man show there.
Here's Hull at the right point with a shot. Anderson save, rebound, sitting there, backhand, and Anderson had to go off the side of the net. Now he can't find it. It's in the corner. Cleared to the point, not out. Held in on the left side. Cusinelli moving it down low. They'll try to set it back up. Hole through traffic. Anderson save, and he falls on it.
I wish I was down there at ice level to see just how some of these pucks are not making it past Anderson. He seems to be scrambling, pulling the old Dominic Hasek, flailing around, and just nothing's getting past him. But I think this is a pushback the Wildcats needed to have. You do not want to go into that locker room after the first period feeling like you didn't get any offensive pressure to at least make up for the fact you gave up too early, and you can build off of this.
Absolutely. Malafronte on that chance. The backhand went under the pad of Anderson, but the puck hit the outside of the cage. And it seems like that's how things have gone for U of A, as Dix is out of the penalty box. The Wildcats 0 for 1 with the man advantage.
And those crossbars, they're hard to stomach when you're up by 1. They're a lot harder to stomach when you're down by 2.
Right now, Utah at 5-on-5 here, getting hemmed in its own zone again. Marshall digging hard in the corner. They try to reverse. And that's going to allow the play to flow through center, up the right wing side, led ahead by Moeller. He'll fire it in around behind the net. Fisher trying to get on the near side. 1 minute to go in the period. Bouncing puck side of the net is punched away. Selman will lift a wedge high in the air, and it comes down just in front of Orfanos. He can't come up with it. Turn right back at center. Pass turned over now left side. Unfortunately, it was knocked off the stick of Litwin. He'll send it in behind the net at least. Arizona maybe smelling a little opportunity here at the end of the period. Here's Litwin.
That was a great burst of speed over the blue line to create a chance. Just wasn't able to get enough room.
Litwin will feed the point. Left side, nice move. Works his way down the left side. Shively leaving it off. Litwin, right point. Fisher. Wrister is blocked. He'll try to send it down low again. Orfanos has it. He gets it into the corner. Time ticking down in the period. Right point over the left side. Into the slot, looking for a tip. Selman could not connect, and now we get a penalty coming up again on Utah. So they don't score a goal, but do generate another opportunity late in the frame, pushing the Utes back on their heels.
And, you know, I'm always a fan of a physical player. I'm always a fan of someone willing to mix it up. But Dylan Dix has been a little bit riding that fine line, and maybe the refs are going to call this one a little bit closer today, but up 2-0 with 10 seconds left in the period, taking a penalty like that is not going to make many bench coaches too happy about that.
Arizona will indeed have 10.3 seconds here as the draw comes back to the point. Let's see if they can make something happen in the slot. A shot, and that one is kicked away. Rebound, Cusinelli to the front. Another chance over top of the net. On the right side, that's it for the period. Timor couldn't get the shot away quickly enough. But U of A, in the last, I'd say, a couple of minutes of that period, I think really they picked up momentum from that first power play and continued that momentum right through to the end of the frame.
They looked like a different team on that power play. They looked more confident. They had a lot quicker passes. They knew who they were looking for. They knew the chances they were trying to set up. They looked a little bit lost early, but I think these power plays are going to help them establish some confidence and a lot of zone time here. It's just, you got to look at this as a fresh game, and, you know, those two early ones are rough to give up, but you've always got a chance. Like we saw the Utes hang around all night, all afternoon yesterday. You know, basically a 1-0 game until about 7 minutes left in the third. So the Wildcats definitely have a chance here to get back into it if they can score one early into the second on the power play.
And it is a different game now, obviously, as we've seen. It's, you know, you're down 2-0 after one. That was not the situation you were in yesterday if you're the Wildcats. But right now, I mean, heading into the room, and we know Chad Berman. We know that he's going to find everything, good and bad, to focus on from that first period. I think once Arizona cleans up its own end and they focus a little bit more on the defensive end, because they didn't spend nearly as much time on their end in the second half of the period, but they were still sloppy enough to allow those chances. You know, the shorthanded chance, things like that. I think that's got to be the focus first, and keep doing what you're doing in the offensive side.
90% of what they did defensively was great, and I think Bavolsik, that's not the start that he was looking for early. That goal by Light seemed to get it deked out there, but that was a great play by Light. But that, you know, that cherry-picking breakout pass, that's not going to be there the whole game. So you just got to look out for that and keep playing that way. If the last 5 minutes for the Wildcats, if they're able to, they can't keep hitting posts forever. There's got to be a point. they just can't. So they're going to be looking to get out here with a fresh sheet of ice on that power play and put the pressure on. I know Chad Berman's going to have a very high decibel level in that locker room to get his guys ready to go here in the second period.
2-0 Utah after one period of play. We'll take a break and come back with our first period intermission on the other side of the break. This is Arizona Wildcats hockey.
I'm Sebastian Janik here with head coach Chad Berman. Coming back after the road trip, what do you feel like you built on that road trip and are hoping to bring back into this building?
A lot of areas. I think our depth, I think just as a team in general, we got a little closer. You know, those road trips have a way of creating that environment for you, but, you know, we're kind of playing catch up with a little bit of a lack of ice here early, so I feel like our special teams are coming along. Our power plays coming a little quicker than our penalty kill, which has been huge. 2 big power plays in both games last weekend. And just in structurally, you know, we're starting to get on the same page. It's starting to be familiar with less thinking. And really the most simple thing is just we're starting to move our feet more, which is the hardest habit for us to break over that time off.
And with these 14 new guys coming into the lineup, who has stood out to you as a guy who's immediately made an impact?
Well, there's a lot of guys, certainly. Ryan Fisher on D has been a huge addition. Brody Salmon's been Mr. Everything for us. That kid's a coach's dream. I mean, he does everything right, works as hard as anybody on the ice. He's on time.
He's a details guy. He's really, truly is a coach's dream. So off the top of my head, I'd say those two would stand out the most.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Coach. And welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. This is Sebastian Janik. I'm joined by Matt Tiart. We've got Tom Callahan taking a little break from the booth at the moment, giving us rookies a chance in here. Tom, unfortunately, won't be with us the entire season, but we're going to do the best we can to fill his shoes, which is not easy taking over from a professional hockey broadcaster. But what did you see in that first period, Matt, that stood out to you?
It looked like Utah was outplaying Arizona. It looked like Arizona was having a tough time getting chances in the zone, and when they did, it seemed like either Anderson was getting lucky breaks or we were just hitting the post like we usually do. So,
well, a couple tough breaks in that first period for the Cats. They give up a goal. Bringing the PA.
Yes.
So the goals coming from Otto Chow and Ethan Light for the Utes in that first period. Wildcats are going to be looking to answer here. They got a power play, a minute 50 on a fresh sheet of ice. They looked like a different team on the power play towards the end of that first period, a lot more confident. How much do you think getting this opening goal would mean to changing the dynamic of this game?
well, I think the first thing they have to do is focus on killing this power play, right? So they kill this thing off, they get back to 5-on-5, they get momentum sort of headed their way. Plus, let's keep in mind, Arizona's undefeated at home, or 2-0-1 at home this season, so we got to use that energy as well to get back into this hockey game.
Well, since the Wildcats are on the power play, let's hope the kill isn't too successful. Well, we're going to be hoping for the penalty kill to be quite unsuccessful, hopefully. But this is a big moment for the Wildcats. Coming into this game, Chad Berman was not satisfied with their effort yesterday. They were able to pick up that shootout win. But after having a one-goal lead for almost about 50 minutes, they weren't able to pot that second one and put that team away. The Utes hung around and ended up getting one late in the third. And this is going to be a test game. You know, the Wildcats, their record this season is not exactly where they would want it to be. Every point is important in this conference, and we're going to see how they respond here in the second. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on this first power play unit for the Wildcats. They've been hanging out for a little bit while Utah gets their net fixed. And
and you mentioned earlier in the first period that Utah looked like they were on tired legs last night going into overtime. So another early game today. Hopefully we can regain our legs as well and see if we can take advantage of that mismatch.
And Ethan Light, and big impact player for this Utah team, he scored a great breakaway goal. He's a chippy player. He's been having some conversations with some of the Wildcats, and scoring that goal backs up that talk a little bit, but he's a guy that you want to quiet down, maybe put a body on him early, make sure he doesn't feel too comfortable and too cocky in there.
Power play.
Wildcats here in their own zone, regrouping. Matthew Hull breaking the puck over the blue line, going down the far boards. Cusinelli into the middle, cannot connect with Jesse Lowell. And here comes the speed of the Light brothers with Alexander King driving the net. Great save by Bavolsik, and the Wildcats are going to turn it around.
Yeah, we got a 3-on-2 developing here on the power play.
Anthony Cusinelli down the near boards, back to Hull. Cusinelli tied up, looking for some support. Digging away. Hull with a glove keeps it in. Malfronte back to the point. Timor to Cusinelli, and he just couldn't have the handle out in front. And the Utes are able to get it for now. A couple good chances there for the Wildcats. Cusinelli, he gets that quick pass from Timor, just can't quite handle it, but Cusinelli's looking to break it right back in. Across, and they score! It's Max Meyer on the great feed from Cusinelli. And the Wildcats bring this game back within one right away on the power play in the second period here. What a great play from Cusinelli, and a great way to bury it by Max Meyer.
Yeah, so we just talked about how Utah has tired legs based off yesterday's game. They get a bad line change, and it turns into a 4-on-2, and Meyer just buries that high stick side. What a snipe.
That was a confident shot from Max Meyer, a player who's still trying to find the true potential of his game this season. He knows he can be better. Great response here early in the second.
And the number one step to a successful power play is you got to have a clean entry, and that's exactly what we saw. They had all the space in the world there right at the blue line.
And this shift for the Wildcats is really important. They got to keep the pressure on.
Here we go. We got a 2-on-1 right here. Great pass. Oh, the post again, and he
And
buries
then he
it.
score! I tried to bring in the PA guys, but the Wildcats were just too quick on scoring
Ryan
again.
Fisher just burying that rebound, wide open net.
We talked about him in the first period a little bit, the ability to get defensemen into the rush. He follows up a great chance, big rebound out into the slot. What a play, 100% effort there from the Cats. And less than 2 minutes into this period, it's a brand new hockey game.
Yeah, that was 2 goals in about a 30-second span. You were just talking about how important this shift was. Not even 10 seconds later, it's a tied hockey game.
And this Arizona team has to look at themselves and feel like, you know what, we didn't have our best first period, but we just accomplished what we needed to.
It is a power play for number 27, Matt Meyer. The assist goes to number 15, Anthony Cusinelli. The assist, number 35, Nolan Bivelsick. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 1 minute, 6 seconds in the second period.
And we're going to get the second call from the PA team really soon here because those goals were 22 seconds apart.
Goal, give it to number 6, Ryan Fisher. The assist goes to number 20, Brody Selman, and number 26, Duke Litwin. Time of that goal, 1 minute, 28 seconds in the second period.
So a big response here from the Wildcats. You know, we always preview we want a response, but that was a response that the Wildcats team could not have hoped for a better jump here in the second. And they look so much faster than the Utes right now.
Yeah, it's those tired legs. We talked to Duke Litwin. We got a scrumble in the net here.
And
Anderson being pushed over.
Well, we had a Utes player cross-check an Arizona player into their goalie, and Dawson Marshall in a wrestling match here. Ryan Heck got cross-checked quite solidly there into Anderson.
Anderson's still down.
Yeah, he's laying on his back. He isn't moving much. That was an awkward tumble. He wasn't expecting that. And Ryan Heck giving a signal to the crowd.
Looks like we're going to have coincidental minors and Ryan Heck pumping up the crowd.
Yeah, he doesn't have much sympathy for Anderson right now. I don't think, Heck's not looking to get in there and lay on top of Anderson. He gets cross-checked in there. It's hard for him to stay on his skates when you're taking a shot like that, but we really don't want to see Anderson hurt here. He's been a great player for the Utah team in this 2-game series. We've got the captain of the Utes, Alexander King, having a chat with the refs. That was you hate to see that. You hate to see a player get injured, especially in a play that really didn't need to happen after the play was blown dead. But so we'll wait to see here what the call is on the penalties. So we're waiting here to see just what's going to go on with Anderson.
And the refs are conferring at the blue line, I guess talking about what the penalties are going to be dealt out.
Yeah, that's a hard one to call because, Heck is obviously in there stirring things up, but
Anderson sitting up, getting an applause from the crowd. It's good to see. Still getting checked out.
yeah, you definitely don't want to see a player get hurt. He's been so good for him, for the Utah team. Seems like he's getting a check from the Wildcats medical team, see if he's good to go. And it looks like Anderson's going to be heading out. Skating off on his own, though. Doesn't look too wobbly. Hopefully it's nothing serious. And if you're just joining us, there is 3 minutes gone in the second period so far. The goalie for the Utes, Anderson, was injured on a play. He skated off. Doesn't seem like Utah's committing to put their backup in quite yet. They might be waiting to see if Anderson's good to go after some protocol. See what the situation is here, though.
Yeah, and the refs are still conferring at center ice. It seems like they're going to talk. They're still talking about what penalties are going to be dealt out.
Welcome.
2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 19, Ryan Heck. 2 minutes for slashing. Both penalties at 2 minutes 51 seconds in the second period.
So if you're just joining us, there was a bit of a delay there as Ryan Heck fell into the goalie for the Utah Utes, Anderson. They got him checked out. He's all good. You always like to see a player come back on the ice, and now we're at 4-on-4 hockey after that play. Good shot there by Orfanos. Utes looking to use the boards to break it out. Ben Jones gets the puck over.
Yeah, and we alluded to earlier, these teams, you know, there's some animosity. There's some bad feelings. It's a rivalry, right? These teams don't like each other, but at the end of the day, there's some things bigger than hockey, and we're just glad he's okay and back out on the ice.
Yeah, and Anderson's been a really good goalie over these past 2 games for the Utes, and to see him come back, it's definitely a good feeling for
everyone in the building. Never want to see someone go down with an injury, but Utah's going to carry it over the line here.
And with that being said, the chippiness since in the minute that we resumed play has really amped up, and here's a penalty.
We're going to get a penalty against.
Looks like he's going to be slashing on the Wildcats. So we're going to have a short 4-on-3 power play for the Utah Utes.
And that's looking like that's going to be number 5 for the Wildcats. It's going to be Shively going off here.
On Shively, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of that penalty, 4 minutes in the second period.
So the Wildcats here are going to have a big kill, 4-on-3. Utah looking to set up that triangle. Dix on the far side. Over to Dylan Dix. Skates to the center. Covered closely by Jesse Lowell. Hedgecock in a battle in the boards, trying to get that puck free. Support there from the Utes, keep that puck alive. Catches an edge, goes down, keeps the play alive.
And 4-on-3, what a glove save. Just snagged that out of the air.
Yeah, Bavolsic looking confident there, absolutely flashing the leather.
Yeah, 4-on-3 penalty kills are tough. A lot of ice you have to cover.
A lot of ice out there, a lot of open ice for the offensive team. You really don't want to lose your assignments, be skating around too long, get tired.
But we also need Bavolsic to be the best penalty killer, and so far he's shown that.
Yeah, he got a good look at that puck, was able to, react quickly. Dylan Dix with a blast from the point, blocked there. Great job there from Matthew Hull to sacrifice the body. Matthew Hull in a one-man penalty kill there.
One-man wrecking crew.
Great effort there. Blocks the shot, works against 3 Utah players to get that puck out.
And now Heck's out of the box, so it's back to 4-on-4.
So we got 4-on-4 with Dawson Marshall, Max Meyer, Matthew Hull, and Cameron Timor out on the ice for the Wildcats. They're going to look to disrupt this break-in. Timor takes the space away around the near boards. Good hit there from Matthew Hull. Doesn't hit him directly in the numbers. Keeps it clean, but a good physical check. The Utes working around the port.
We got the Utah coach yelling at the ref that he was hitting the numbers.
Cameron Timor with a great break up there and a breakout pass. Max Meyer
What a
with a
move.
nifty dangle. In, just can't quite get enough space. 1 or 2 more steps and he would have been around and had a wide open net, but a great effort there by Max Meyer, shorthanded.
Yeah, and it's like you said earlier, those skill players, when they have the puck on their stick, you gotta put a body on them. You gotta take that puck off their stick.
And that's one of the best ways to kill a penalty is be in the offensive zone, 200 feet from your own net. Brody Selman here. There's a good dangle there from the Utes to get a play on Selman.
We got a
Up here
2-on-1
with
developing.
Shively. Shively over to Selman. Selman walks in, tries to pull up to go for a pass for the trailing man.
Yeah,
Isn't
Ben
able
Jones
to do
was
it.
calling for a pass. He would have had a wide open shot at the net.
And that's a big hit there. So Shively, number 5, getting involved there. Almost sets up a 2-on-1, throws a big hit. The Utah bench is very vocal, even from where we're up here in the press box. They're a team that, probably feels like they gave up a game or gave up a lead. They should not have that quickly by anybody's standards. And here the Wildcats will go to work on the offensive zone. Number 20, Brody Selman, great player, but he's going to go for a change here. The Wildcats are going to get some fresh legs. 18, Lowell over.
Yeah, he didn't get all of that puck.
No, I think that one was bouncing on him a little bit.
We hear people say it all the time, 2-goal leads are the worst leads in hockey. You get this false sense of the added security, and Arizona took it away pretty quickly. So
I've seen a lot of cases. A 3-goal lead is the worst lead in hockey. 4-goal lead because then you stop playing. 2-goal lead. I'd say any lead isn't too bad, but that 2-goal lead curse caught up to the Utes here.
Yeah.
Timor with a shot from the point. Hedgecock. Good job there by Hedgecock not to pinch, not to put them in a dangerous position there.
Yeah, he wanted to come up bad, but made the smart decision.
You could see him with his head up there thinking, but that would have been a 3-on-2 going back the other way for the Utes.
Arizona this period has come out, I mean, they are just positionally sound, which was something we did not see a lot of in the first period.
No, we saw Utah having a lot of time to make passes, make plays. They really weren't stepping up on the blue line on them too much. It's been a different Wildcats team here.
This is definitely a tale of two periods.
And I think a lot of credit for that will go to head coach Chad Berman. He knows how to motivate this group. He's worked with a lot of them for a while, and he knows how to get more out of his guys. And he knows after that first period there was a lot more for them to give. Got Meyer behind the net, out in front.
And we know how bad the Arizona Wildcats want this win after getting swept in Utah to start the season.
Yeah, that was a bad taste there. And we've got Lusby here bringing the puck up the near boards. Drops it back to Meyer. Almost caught Josephson on the doorstep there. Johansson, my apologies. Johansson, good job there to keep skating through the blue line, get into the blue paint. Was looking for a tip there, just didn't quite connect. Wildcats will hold in their own zone. Matthew Hull, head up. Can't connect on the pass. Utes will bring it back. Try to get it through neutral ice. And the Wildcats are taking away any time and space they have right now.
Yeah, the Wildcats are using their bodies to create turnovers. This Utah team is known for being physical and chippy, and it seems like the Wildcats are giving them some of their own medicine.
And I think that physicality after Anderson went down, I'm not going to say that it's slowed down, but they might realize, you know, we want to be chippy, we want to get in each other's face. There's a big, great chance out there in front, and Bavulcik has to be sharp as that one ends up on the top of the net. And the Utes, I'd say that's the first time, aside from that glove save from Bavulcik, that they've really tested the Wildcats' defense in their own zone. And, you know, looking at the lineup for the Utes, they have a great top line with the Light brothers and Alexander King. They've been just very dangerous every time they're on the ice. But the Wildcats are hoping they have a little bit more depth. They can roll their lines a little bit better, get offense from different guys. Max Meyer puts up a big goal here. Ryan Fisher, a defenseman, puts up a big goal. And the Utes are still trying to work it around. That one gets out in front. Dangerous play there.
Yeah, that was a dangerous puck bouncing in the goal crease.
But a composed play from the Wildcats to break it out. Marshall tries to center it, can't get it to go through. On the side of the net. Marshall trying to shadow that player. That 10, 11, 12 line, Marshall, Marquis, and Johansson, or Josephson. Johansson and Josephson on the third and fourth line has been a little bit of a muddle.
Confusing.
But there's a reason Tom Callahan was a pro in the NHL for a while, and we're still trying to, you know, get our time in. But Wildcats here, good support from Fisher. Shively and Fisher have been playing together these last two games. Good support there. Utes dump the puck back in. Shively behind the net, looking for a breakout pass.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Chad Berman before the game, and he started with that 10, 11, 12 line. He said they were doing the right things. They brought the energy last night, and he wanted to see that continue. And he wanted to reward those guys for doing the right things last night.
Yeah, when you have your guys who aren't necessarily considered, oh, there's a great chance in here. Shot off, that went off number 5 for the Wildcats, right off number 5 for the Utes. Trickles in on Anderson, but he's quick to react. No rebound there for Shively. And we're going to see the Wildcats top line out here. Malafronte, Jesse Lowell, Anthony Cusinelli, with Hedgecook and Timor on the back. Now Timor and Hedgecook are going to have to get back, protect this chance from the Utes top line. Shot with a purpose, looking for a rebound. Another shot. Bavulcik able to cover that one. A Utes player a little bit determined to stay by the net. Jesse Lowell's going to make sure he doesn't stay in there too long.
Well, you think Chad Berman knows what he's talking about? Because he told us before the game that two players to look out for in their speed, especially on defensive zone faceoffs, were 24 and 13 for the Utes. And those were the two players that created that breakout for them.
Yeah, those two brothers, you think of, you know, the chemistry brothers have growing up playing together, and we're going to see here. That was Light trying to go to Light, but broken up well by Jesse Lowell. Smart defensive play. Timor is going to chase it back into his own zone. Bavulcik makes sure that he lets him know he's being shadowed, but it's going to be an icing, and it'll come back down to the Utah end. I will say, Utah is a very vocal team. They got a lot of questions for the refs. They got a lot of things to say to the Wildcats. standing their ground, saying what they want to say, but we'll see if the refs at some point decide, hey, we know what we're doing at least a little bit here.
Yeah, and you also have to take into account that that's some of their identity, right? So the refs expect to
Jesse
hear
Lowell
that.
with a great chance here. Little dangle, gets a shot on net, head fake, tries to keep the puck alive, hedge coke, can't get it through a defenseman. And the Light brothers over the line, but the Wildcats take the body. And that is going to be a Utes player heading into the net. Luckily, Bavolsic out of the way. But that's what this team does. They use their speed over the blue line. They try to make you back off. If you do back off, they're going to take a shot, and they're going to look for a rebound. But the Wildcats there step up at the blue line, use the body, separate from the puck. And luckily, Bavolsic doesn't get crashed into there. We saw that yesterday with Churro having a player crash into him, but Churro's a tough guy.
Yeah, going back to that second goal for the Wildcats, and speaking of speed, we talked to Duke Litwin at practice this week, and he said that's his favorite part of his game is using his speed, and he was the key reason for that second goal.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy, but he's got a lot of contention. He's got a lot of fight in him. He always plays hard. And here we got Matthew Hull, defenseman, trying to break it in. Little spinorama pass, cannot connect. Orfanos, Selman bodied off the puck. The Utes will look to bring it back in. Long shot. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. That puck was held by Bavolsic for about 4 seconds before a Utah player gets near him. All three of them keep full speed skating towards the net, and the Wildcats are not going to let them do that. There might not be any fighting in the ACHA, but I can guarantee you the Wildcats are going to take exception to an attitude like that.
Something's got to give. Either these refs have to start setting examples, or they're going to have to, they're going to have to go. Something. It's only one or the other. Either they keep getting chippier and chippier, or the refs start cracking down on it.
Because that was I absolutely love a team that plays hard, but you throw a puck in from there, you see the goalie grab it, and you look like you're about to crash into him. You're not trying to create a scoring chance. You're trying to create problems. And the Wildcats are going to have to show that you're not going to push us around. Good outlet to Jones. Just can't. That's Orfanos. Orfanos can't handle it. He's had a lot of good looks tonight, but just wasn't able to get it clean and get that break.
Yeah, and that was the speed of Litwin that almost created that breakaway.
Good break up there in the neutral zone by the Wildcats. Matthew Hull with a couple dangles. Can't get it over the line. Orfanos with a good breakup to make sure that the Utes don't have a clean entry. And they're going to look to stick handle around defensemen. If you take the body, they're going to have a hard time doing that. Utes player coming off the bench looking for a big hit right away. And I don't think that's going to surprise anybody who's been watching these last two games.
Both teams are using their bodies to create stifling defense.
Yeah.
You just when you do that, you just have to make sure you don't get too reckless with it.
Yeah, you do not want to see the Wildcats going on the penalty kill out here. The Utes cycling around low, shot on Bavolsic, good save.
Yeah, he did a really good job of keeping his head and his eyes on that puck.
And this is the most jabbing and jawing we've seen after the whistle from the Wildcats so far this season, I'd say. These teams don't like each other. They're going to make sure everybody on the ice knows how much they don't like each other. And the Wildcats are going to look to punish them by, you got to win on the scoreboard. And that's where the Wildcats are going to really look to put the pressure on. They scored 2 goals within 22 seconds to start the period. Have had some decent chances since, but if they could get this 3-2 lead going into the third, it would mean a lot for this group. After what's been a stop-and-go period with Anderson coming off, that kind of slows your momentum down.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep those legs just fresh. But, wow, great speed there from Meyer to break in. Tries to get it across. Just can't connect with Johansson. Shively. Fisher takes a good shot. Off the goalie's stick, out of play. We'll get a face-off in the Ute zone. Shively and Fisher are on a pair together. We're in 5 and 6. Sometimes you mix them up a little bit from up here, but...
Yeah, we need to get those, broadcaster binoculars that we see.
I just need a stronger, better pair of glasses.
Looks like Dylan Dix is going off the ice. Headed back to the locker room, maybe.
I think it's an equipment issue. He's not looking like he's laboring at all.
Okay. Yeah, now he's yelling at someone in the stands.
Yeah, I think their equipment manager telling him to get down here and give me something new. So that's going to be icing on the Utes. It's going to come back into the Ute zone. Offensive draw for the Wildcats. And we've got Lusby out with Johansson. A little bit of a different line here. Lusby out with Johansson and Meyer. Shively and Fisher on the back. Trying to keep the puck in the zone, battle along the boards. Support comes in from Johansson. Utes try to break it in, dump it back. Luke Moeller tries to get it on the forecheck for the Utes, can't get there. Wildcats looking to break it out. Up through the middle, gets it to Max Meyer, who's had a lot of step in his game tonight. Good job there to get on the puck, get some support from a line mate, try to win a puck along the boards. Just pops by Hedgecoke.
Yeah, Meyer's been one of those energizers, especially on that power play goal, getting the Wildcats back in this game.
Yeah, he is not stopped. He's like the Duracell bunny out there this period. He's trying to do everything. And Meyer's a veteran guy. He's been here for a while. He knows, what these games mean to this team going forward into the season. The Wildcats looking to break it out. Broken up at the blue line. Utes cannot get possession. Back out to the red line. Dumped back in, far corner. Timor with the puck behind the net. Gets it to Hedgecoke, looking for an outlet. Gets it up to Marshall. Marshall coming over the far board, stops up, looking for a centering pass, just can't get it there. But a good position by Timor, not able to get it down low to the forward.
Yeah, Timor's positioning there kept that play alive. Didn't work out in the end, but
good support there from Timor to make sure that didn't turn into anything. And the Wildcats looking to break it over the line again. And Dawson Marshall absolutely levels a Utah player. That was an absolutely beautiful hit. I believe that was number 13, Wyatt Light. Oh! And right there, Malafronte.
Yeah. Taking advantage of that big hit, the Utah players were wondering why there wasn't a penalty, and the Wildcats take advantage of the confusion.
Yeah, I was too focused on the hit there. That was just a mesmerizing hit, but the Wildcats are able to keep it in the zone. Comes out, and it's a quick transition play. Wow, what a blast dump in. And Malafronte skates straight at that puck for the goal.
Yeah, Matthew Holt just...
So a Wildcat goal, give it to number 14, Greg Malafronte. That's Malafronte, unassisted. Time of your Wildcat goal, 14 minutes, 50 seconds in the second period.
Wildcats here with another chance from the point, and that was shot from the red line from Hull, but he knew what he was doing there.
Yeah.
If he blasted one in with Malafronte with his speed, and it's Jesse Lowell here.
And that was an incredible bounce from the boards.
It was, and the defenseman from the Utes just could not handle it. Got Orfanos here getting down into the near boards.
The Wildcats look like a different team right now after this goal.
They are
just absolutely energized, playing lightning fast.
They're feeling it this period. Oh, and that is uncharacteristic for Anderson. We saw him stopping everything up into the chest yesterday. The Wildcats here in a quick transition, bring it back over. Shot, rebound, can't get the follow-up. Duke Litwin creating chances for himself there, and Anderson looks a little bit shaky. He's given up more rebounds than he has in the past. He came into this period with a 2-0 lead for his team. Goes down, comes back in.
Yeah, you have to factor in all the things he's dealing with. Going back to the locker room, there's got to still be some rust or something he's dealing with that is because this is, like you said, this is uncharacteristic for him to play.
Utes here, quick line change, get a fresh player on to intercept that puck. Fisher battling down there. Selman comes in for support. Shively tries to get a breakout pass, can't be controlled. Good stop there. Big rebound. Puck behind the net. Meyer trying to find it and Selman able to find that puck, skate it to safety. And he's going to look for Meyer again. Chip self pass, get in there, single man forecheck.
get a line change just like this. Another shot, a great opportunity. And that was created by Max Meyer. He gets in there as a one-man forecheck, allows the Wildcats to change.
Yeah, and Alex Johansson, just a shot right in between the hash marks.
And Johansson's been prominent here. This line of Johansson, Meyer, and Lusby has been helping create some things. We'll see, can't win the draw. Oh, they do win the draw back. Timor over to Hedgecoke, can't get a handle on the puck. Gets a shot on net, tipped wide. Timor on the far boards, holds, looks for the pass, and it just cannot be corralled by Lusby. Lusby would have had a great backdoor chance there. Another shot on net.
Yeah, Anderson just loving that, saying, let's freeze this, let's reset, because it kind of looked like a Wildcat power play there for 20 to 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think this period, you've seen the Wildcats step up their physical play without taking penalties. You've seen some big hits, those electric goals in the first 2 minutes, within the first minute and a half of the period. Follow-up goal on a very heads-up play by Matthew Hull. The Utes here looking to break it over the line, into the middle, drop pass, into the skates, can't handle it. Hedgecoke takes care of his man. Puck comes back to the point. Utes looking to cycle something down low. Wildcats doing a good job making sure they don't have any open space. Meyer trying to get that outlet, cannot get it past the streaking down the boards Utes player. Timor here in a battle. Johansson and Timor trying to get that puck away, not able to do so. Shot from the point over the net. Bavolsic can't glove it. Hedgecoke down there in a battle. And the puck comes right out, but the only person there is going to be Lusby. And Lusby's going to skate this out and dump it in and go for a line change.
Yeah, that was a scary
outlet pass here
right
for
there.
Wyatt Light. And he just gets mauled. They're not going to make things easy on Wyatt Light here. He's been prominent, but Ben Jones is a big physical defenseman. Wildcats looking to break it over the line here. Ben Jones trying to get it back.
Yeah, Ben Jones is somebody that Coach said he was just so happy to have back in the lineup.
Yeah, and the Utes here getting some space, but the fans on the shot. Alexander King drumps it back down. And now you've got that 10, 11, 12 line out there of Marquis, Marshall, and Josephson. Marquis over to Josephson. Marshall over to Josephson, shot on net. Marshall cannot get the follow-up.
Yeah, we got about 53 seconds left here in this period.
And this
Wildcats trying to get one more before they go into the locker room.
That's not going to get there for icing, but these are 45 seconds where you got to make sure that you play smart, you do not take a penalty, and you get this puck out of your zone. Some good battles there. Marquis able to pick up the puck, tries to break it out. Cusinelli goes for the toe drag, not able to get it around the defender. And the Utes will bring it back in with 20, and an absolutely massive hit from Jesse Lowell. A leader in so many ways for this team. Lowell over the line, can't pick up the puck. These hits from the Wildcats, they have not been they have been open ice, massive hits.
Yeah, they're just setting the tone physically.
And the Wildcats will bring it in with 8 seconds remaining in the second. 4. And I've got to think, after this horn goes, these two teams are going to be chatting a little bit.
Utah with 12. The score after 2 complete periods of play here at the Tucson Convention Center Arena. It is your Wildcats 3, Utah 2.
So we just saw a tremendous period of hockey from the Wildcats. You come into this period 2 down, you put up 3 goals, 2 early, 1 late, and you absolutely flatten 2 of the Utes players. Nothing, it's not that hit along the boards that's dirty. It's not that hit that's, looking to hurt somebody. They are just open ice through the body. Massive hits, and you love to see that response.
Yeah, now we got Berman going at some of the Utah players. These teams do not like each other. I wonder what Berman has to say in the locker room after.
It's looking like head coach Morgan Feeney of the Utes is
absolutely giving it to Coach Berman, and the refs are going to tell him to get off the ice. I don't know what he would have saw out there besides his team not having a good period that he'd be so upset about. I know the Wildcats had some huge hits there, but those are open ice, solid hits. They're not late. They're not against the boards. They're not away from the play. And the Utes love to play physical hockey. This is what their bread and butter has been for these first two games. And apparently they don't like getting it back.
Yeah, so the Wildcats come out down 2. They get a power play goal early from Meyer. They get a goal 22 seconds later from Fisher. And then Malafronte with 5 minutes left. They get a goal to go up 3-2 into the locker room. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that locker room right before going into the third period.
I would have loved to have the coaches mic'd up there to know. Probably would have had to bleep a little bit for the broadcast, but that was no love lost between those two coaches. So we will head into the third period. Wildcats up 1, 3-2 against the Utah Utes, and we will be back with more Wildcat hockey after the intermission. I'm Sebastian Janik, and I'm here with Duke Litwin. What are you looking to bring to these two games back here at the TC to get the team going?
Well, I'd like to bring my speed. I think through transition, I've been playing really well with the puck on my stick, and like I said, speed, a little bit of physicality too this weekend.
And your line mates who you've been playing with, is there a guy that has stood out to you that you've had really good chemistry with and been feeling that?
Yeah, I thought me and Greg Malafronte were playing pretty well together, but I think this week I'll be playing with Brody, and Brody's been playing really well, so I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, he's come on this year, been a big impact player on the offense. What do you think he brings, IQ-wise, that can complement your game as well?
Well, it starts with his work ethic. I mean, the kid works so hard, but I mean, when it comes to hockey, he always has his head up like me on the ice, so we'll be looking to find each other.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much.
All right, and we are back getting ready for period number 3 after a wild second period. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely crazy the way that one went, but 3-2 Arizona's got the lead. We started off 5-on-5 here as we move on in to third period action. Even the coach is getting into it on the way off the ice a little bit there as well. But Utah's going to push in for a chance here. Save, even another save. Bavolsik with the right pad. Big stop there, just 30 seconds in.
And that's a huge stop to make sure they do not get any energy right off this bat. Yeah, and this is an emotional game for both teams. You had both coaches giving a little bit to each other. You got players giving it to one another. Some physicality right off the start. But a great save by Bavolsik sliding over to get that second chance.
And boy, you do not want to give up the early goal here if you're U of A and immediately find yourself in a tie situation.
No, they've got a lot of momentum coming into this period, and they need to assert themselves to make sure that carries over. And Jesse Lowell out here on the forecheck delivered that huge hit at the end of the third period, and he's right back at it again.
Utah's going to try to push their way in here. And trying to go to work early. Again, the animosity has just been building in this one. Final period of the weekend here, and Arizona reestablishing the lead. Boy, neither team wants to back down. Lowell's going to push his way forward, try to leave for Cusinelli, but he zigged when he thought he zagged. Malafronte following the play, leaving it up high to Lowell. Lowell, little drop pass behind himself that slowed the play down, but now he picks it up again. Lowell with a wrist shot for the left side. That one missed.
And Anderson has been really good in those shots into the pads, not giving up huge rebounds, so they're going to try to go high on him.
King with a shot that missed, goes behind the net. He tried to work his way in front with it. Could not hang on to the puck, and Arizona looking to turn it right back up the other way. Here come the Wildcats. In with a long shot that is gloved down. Anderson will hold on as that long-range wrister from Litwin will at least get the Wildcats an offensive zone draw here and a little chance to reset the lines.
And I know you weren't up in the box with me for that last period, but you were watching the game, and I saw a lot of extracurriculars after the whistle. These teams were being chippy, they were being pushy. I think, both teams want to settle down and realize, both of them know they've got a chance to win this game. And you can be as chippy as you want, but special teams kind of dictated yesterday's game, and the Cats have done a good job staying out of the box so far in this game.
Utah, meanwhile, finds itself down by a goal. They established a 2-0 lead after one, but then 3 goals by the Wildcats in the second made it 3-2. And that's how we've started the third period here. One of the things that I kind of wonder about is whether or not we're going to see more power plays, or do they start taking them in pairs, and exactly how out of hand things may get or may not get here in the third period, because in a 1-goal game, you really can't afford to give up a power play just for a retaliation.
No, if this was 5-1, they felt way more out of it. I might expect that, but I think this Utah team knows they're right in it. If they play smart and they keep playing hard, they've got a chance to tie this, force it to maybe overtime again, take a point away from the Wildcats. But the Wildcats know they have to play disciplined and play smart and not let, Utah, I've noticed an incredibly vocal team, whether it's to U of A players, whether it's to refs. They like to talk, and the Cats have kept their composure, put some big hits on, and last period just absolutely hammered Anderson with shots and potted 3.
And they took advantage of the opportunities they were given. They kept pushing, and they were able to make something out of it.
And I think that play from Matthew Hull might be a little bit underrated, because that might not look incredibly intentional necessarily, but he knows what he's doing with a streaking Malafronte coming in with speed, hammering that puck in.
Arizona is going to try to push the puck back in after losing the draw. They step up on the right wing side. It's swept in behind the net. It looks like they might let him play a little bit here to start the third at least. Dangerous Karam in front of shot. Anderson, a huge save right there as Lusby right in the slot had that puck come right up the middle to him.
And I think Coach Berman has really been liking this combination of Lusby, Josephson, and Meyer. They have really had a jump here tonight. Every game, a different line seems to step up, and this is a line that's generated a lot of chances so far.
Once again, Utah winning the draw in its own zone. They're able to move it away and out to center. And the Utes trying to regroup here. Puck is tipped down past Timor. Hedgecock will reverse it around. Just past 3 minutes into the third period. 3-2 Wildcats.
Smart play by there from Timor. Doesn't see anything open. Skates back a little bit, opens up a little bit of space, but that's going to end up going down for icing. Tip just short of the red line.
Arizona will not get a chance to change things out here. Let's see what Utah is going to do. It looks like they're going to leave Langenbrunner and Landekuzek out there.
For Johansson in the dot now, this is all about winning that puck, getting a line change, keeping legs fresh so you don't start getting too long of shifts here early in the third.
Again, Utah controlling the draw to the point, a shot tipped wide. A backhand towards the front of the net is deflected away. All right, now Utah trying to grab some momentum back on its side. Landekuzek feeding it up towards the left point. Dix pinching down to try to keep it in. Shot towards the net, stick to side by Bavalsik. A stolen backside of the goal again. Bavalsik has to cover that one. Utah just being pesky right now. And actually this line, I've noticed these guys a little bit more in this game. I know we talked about the King and Light unit, but this line has been pretty active in this game as well. And that's something different from what we saw yesterday out of Utah. Yeah,
and we saw Otto Chow getting a goal early in the game, getting a little bit of depth scoring from the Utes. Yeah, and you've seen Light, light it up, light the lamp himself. So first line and depth lines contributing, and Bavolsik, good job there to control the rebound.
Speaking of Light, Ethan Light with a shot right off that face-off, buried in the pads. You'd like to see the Wildcats start winning a few more draws here, start with possession, and furthermore, not let Utah, especially in the offensive zone, start with possession, but they do again.
And the draws were a real strength of the Cats yesterday afternoon. The Utes seem to have a little bit figured out, how to win more of those face-offs, but if they're one and done like that with a missed shot and you can break out here, no harm done.
Mickle slides down, trying to apply forecheck pressure that allows Arizona to center. Fisher will dump it in, a bouncer wide of the net. Utes trying to clear it around off a mitt. Puck does get to center. King will attack, feed it left side to Light. His wrister ripped up over top of the net. Kept in at the right point. Off a skate towards the line. It is chopped into the Arizona bench. We'll get a whistle. Not as much flow to this period. I will say that. It's been a little choppy. We've had a bunch of whistles so far. And I don't know if that's by design necessarily, but, it's interesting to see as things ebbed and flowed in that second period. It really seemed like Arizona, when they just were able to roll through their lines, it seemed much more to suit them and their type of game.
Yeah, and I think the Utes here, they know that if they can break up the rhythm of the Wildcats, get them having to make more line changes, they can do something differently than they got in the second. And they've had some good offensive zone time here, but the Wildcats looking to break it out quick.
Well, 3-on-2 if they hurry, but unfortunately they turn the puck over. And now Utah with a chance on the regroup here. Coming up on 5 minutes gone in the third period. 3-2 your score, Wildcats in the lead.
And I think part of that stop-and-go play might just be from both teams knowing that they need to play careful. The Wildcats know that they need to push for a goal. They want to hold on to this lead, and the Utes know they're only one back. And if they go down by 2, this is a very different third period. But another thunderous hit there along the boards by the Wildcats.
And now on the forecheck, trying to free it. Litwin almost turned it over. And he does force the puck to just be thrown away to center. He'll take a pass up at center. Now Litwin driving into the right side. Settles the roller on the backhand. Couldn't get a shot away. Had a stick check there. He'll carry it up the left half wall. Try to cycle it on the board. Selman moving it down low. Orfanos behind the net. Leaving it along there. And now he'll try to feed it up to the right point. Timor drags his shot off a leg and out of play. That one tipped off a Utes forward, and faceoff should stay inside the zone. Nice job there, though, to work the puck around. See U of A trying to establish a cycle there on the wall and eventually get it up top for a chance.
I liked that drive by Litwin, too. He isn't able to quite corral it, and the defenseman does a good job taking away his space with a stick. But Litwin with a lot of jump of speed, and Timor on this back end, so dangerous from the point. Such a smart player.
There's a quick shot, Orfanos, and he is stopped by Anderson and got the blocker on that one. Puck is cleared out, and a bouncer ends up at center. Once again, the Wildcats trying to send that one back into the far side corner.
And that was number 19, Antonio Najera, for the Utes. He had a lot of speed getting in there, just wasn't able to make anything happen. But some of the Utes depth players seem to really be taking it upon themselves to try to drive this pace of play, since that top line of the Light brothers and King has played a lot of minutes in 2 days.
They really have. They've been out there quite a bit. And maybe now Utah hoping to see a little bit more again out of its depth here. Puck in the Arizona end of things, dug out by Pond. He tried to center. That one tipped away to the point, not out. Rolling puck, shot wide of the net. Rebound goes right up the slot. Oh my, you have a very lucky there as it's cleared onto the zone.
I think that went back through the legs of Bvolsic.
It did.
Net. That was a crazy carom that, with a little bit of bad luck, could have ended up in the Cats' net. But the posts haven't been friendly to them. Luckily, the boards were friendly to them on that one.
It's interesting. It's not often you see a goaltender trying to open up the 5-hole more for the puck to get through, but Bvolsic did not want to touch that one as it came back.
Yeah, luckily on that shot from Ethan Noonan, he got a lot on that. He was able to walk into that one-timer and absolutely hammer one, and that's why Karam's so far back out.
The boards have been lively here today, led to the Wildcats scoring a pretty opportunistic goal in the second period. As the puck ricocheted right back out in front, Malafronte was able to put it away.
You know, as a fan of the Bruins, I used to watch Torrey Krug look for that outlet past David Pasternak, because he knew when he was streaking in there, he could be out and icing, and he saw Malafronte getting in there, and Hull made a great heads-up play. You need a bit of luck to be good, but worked out well, and the Wildcats here are not giving the Utes any real time and space to set up inside the offensive zone.
Right now, Arizona on the regroup here. And they don't mind killing a little bit of extra clock if they can, taking their time and figuring it out, trying to move it ahead. And they cough it up at the line. However, here's King trying to feed it across, bouncing puck. That one is shoved wide.
And it's looking like a little bit different line combinations for the Utes. King is out here. I don't see number 13, Wyatt Light. And I believe Ethan Light's not out there as well with this group.
Well, you might see King getting double shifted at a center position.
Absolutely, yeah. He's their best centerman by far, so if they need him, they're going to put him out there in every opportunity they can. Max Meyer here looking to get something, but puck just rolls off his stick a little bit.
Well, Meyer wanted to feed it to Hull. He wanted to get to the bench for a change. He wanted Hull to step up and rush it in. So he just kind of gave an area pass there, and unfortunately, it didn't quite work that one out ahead of time, but Meyer was able to get out, get his change anyway. But the puck now back in the Arizona end of things. 8.5 gone here in the third. 3-2, Wildcats in the lead. Puck played off the glass and out to center.
I think Marquis didn't realize that puck got past him over there on the near boards. He was looking the other way. He would have been in all alone.
Back in on the left side again, the Utes, and there's a shot tipped away by Jones into the corner. We have a loose stick on the play that got flung into the corner over there. That one belonged to Josephson.
What do they say?
And now we get a whistle here, and they'll say that's offside. You know, I was about to make a comment about how things seem like they calmed down a little bit here, but I don't know, maybe this shift we're going to get some more chatting, and it might get a little more ornery.
Well, number 10, Dawson Marshall, delivered that huge hit on Wyatt Light inside the Bruins. My apologies, thinking hockey here. But it was Dawson Marshall. He's a physical guy. He's an energy guy. He might try to mix things up a little bit, but I think Berman's going to keep him on, you know, a pretty tight leash there to make sure he doesn't go over the line, because, you know, we saw a game yesterday where the Cats had a great lead in the third. It's one unfortunate penalty, and they score on the power play. They got to keep themselves out of the box here.
It'll be dumped on into the Arizona end of things, as we have not had a penalty here in the third period. We've had a couple sprinkled in each period throughout. But again, as we mentioned, you know, the hitting picking up a little bit, but also it's a one-goal game, so things, not really the opportunity to get out of hand here, but both teams playing hard and trying to get that W in regulation.
Jesse Lowell has been a wrecking ball out here on this shift. He is throwing the body every single chance he gets.
Boy, he's had a couple of monster hits in this weekend series.
Yeah, I'm guessing he is not the most popular guy in the Utah locker room at the moment. He really establishes the physical presence for this Wildcats team.
Great crowd on hand here for the Saturday afternoon tilt between the Utes and the Wildcats, and you can certainly hear they've been active, trying to cheer their team on to a win. Wildcats in offside there. Litwin a little bit too quick there, jumping on into the zone. 9:55 left to go here in this third period. Arizona 3, Utah 2. Let's see if Arizona here can start with a little possession. Oh, once again, Utah doing an excellent job on the draws as they win that one back.
Yeah, Selman won a lot of draws yesterday. So did Lowell in that face-off dot, but it just looks like their timing's a tiny bit off today, and they ice the puck here. Wildcats going to get another chance to win a face-off in the offensive zone.
Face-off will come back down the ice.
And I will say a lot of the physical play from the Wildcats has been solid, clean through the body, but the refs have let the guys play a bit. They haven't been calling chintzy, tiny little calls, and they've let these two teams kind of take out their hatred for one another a little bit here.
Well, and when you have two teams that are okay playing a physical style, as Arizona wins the draw there, but again, keeping it clean. I mean, you know, you're not head hunting or, you know, getting the sticks up. No. You gotta let them make those plays.
Yeah, and I think that's the type of game that Jesse Lowell really had here today. I mean, I have seen him throw some of the biggest hits of his career as a Wildcat in one game. He came out of that locker room after the first period ready to play, and so did the rest of the Wildcats. And the Utes here just don't seem to be able to generate a whole lot. There's a lot of icing, stops. Hopefully the Wildcats can kind of keep this fragmented play for the Utes going where they just can't generate anything solid.
Orfanos will wheel through center for Arizona. Poked off his stick at the line. Utah quickly back on the left wing side. They try to feed it into the high slot area. A little area pass there. There's a chance for the right point, and that is held by Pavalsik. And again, I mean, from a shot that far out, I understand Mickle's trying to put it in there, but you bury it in the goaltender's breadbasket from well outside the circles. That's not going to challenge a goaltender like Pavalsik.
Yeah, you can't be hoping the goalie's going to make a mistake. You know, I understand that, but, you know, if you can't snipe the top corner and you're not looking to, throw it at the pads, get a rebound. If you can gobble that up like he did, that's gonna stop your offensive flow right in his tracks.
I want to remind everybody, GCU, the next homestand on November 5th and 6th for this Wildcats team. And Wildcats get in free with their Keck card. Puck to the left point is held in there by Jones. And now Meyer feeding it down low. Chance from the off angle. Anderson, nice save there coming to his right, and he hangs on.
That was a good job by Johansson. He gets in the paint behind the goalie, but he's careful with where he is. He's careful with his skates, make sure he gets through the blue paint, doesn't interfere with the goalie, doesn't cause any reason for the refs to put their hands up in the air.
Johansson in for the draw, tries to go ahead with it, pushing towards the net, still has the puck in his skates. Meyer over to help out, puck squirts free, quick shot, and a blocker save. Anderson, rebound into the slot. Johansson couldn't get it to go.
Well, if you can't win it back, win it forwards. Just puts his head down, drives forward, gets a winger to come in and help him out. Puck squirts out to Litwin. Good shot there, just not able to convert. But good pressure here. You don't want to see the Cats sit back and try to think, okay, let's hold on to this lead. You need to see them thinking, we got to get one more, two more.
Meanwhile, Utah looking at that clock. They know there's under 8 minutes to go now, and they're going to feel a little bit more pressure to try to make a play here, try to make something happen. And right now, U of A in no hurry to move it because the Utes are offside.
No, I mean, that's, if anything, it's just killing the clock. I don't completely understand how that benefits them, but a good break in here from the Wildcats.
There's a chance in front, and a bouncing puck just wide out the other side of the crease. Oh boy, Marquis got a stick on it, but Anderson also got a piece of him coming across.
Yeah, Anderson stood his ground there, did not let Marquis have any room to go with it. That was a good play there from this line. Here we go.
Josephson driving in, a shot save. Anderson, rebound sitting free just outside of the crease. Utah able to clear it out.
You've got some tired Utah players looking for a change here, but the Cats have got to be aware of that.
Long shot, that one missed the net and goes all the way towards center. But that's the way you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss on that far side and wrap the puck onto the zone. And now Arizona changing it up here. Malafronte tried to drive through the traffic, couldn't hang on to the puck.
Well, he's had one successful solo man adventure in there so far, so why not give it another go? But I really like what I'm seeing here from the Wildcats. They're not giving up space. They're not giving up good opportunities. They're finding ways to break pucks out of the zone cleanly like that, dump it in, try to get a rebound, second chance.
And a race now. Will there be an icing? Oh, the Utah bench thought that one should have gone their way. McKay Pond had a good effort getting back, but just, in the linesman's opinion, not quite there quickly enough.
I think Cusinelli got the benefit of the doubt there. He did put his head down. He was skating hard. That's definitely one, though, the Wildcats are going to be glad to get a little bit of the call there. But Cusinelli is one to never give up on a puck race, and you really want to see that from your captain, even in those little moments.
Shot blocked off the draw. Now hold down through traffic. His shot caroms off a shin pad as well. Well, Arizona's found the last couple of offensive zone draws some opportunity in there. It's nice to see.
Yeah, and I really like to see that back check from the Wildcats. They don't look tired. They don't look sluggish. They're good on the back check, making sure that everybody is covered. No one's gliding around. Everyone's skating. And Coach Berman, after last game, you take that shootout win, but he was a little bit frustrated with the effort. He thought these players weren't skating hard enough. He thought he could get more out of them, and they've shown that here. Timor with what a heady play to get that in his skates.
Well, he stood up at the line there and kind of put up the pick. And you have a choice. You can either try to drive through Timor or try to get around him, and he ends up with the puck and cleared it away.
Neither of those are easy tasks when Timor is playing as well as he has been.
No, that's for sure.
Meyer there, good job to keep his balance, get the puck down low.
Right now, for Arizona, they want to take as much time off the clock as they can, maybe grind some time out on the wall, but also getting back in droves and defensive coverage in the zone right now. We see 3 guys coming back. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, I think Bavolsi got a good look at that, but that was a pretty decent opportunity. He skates in there, gets a shot from the left dot. Bavolsic fights it off with the blocker, but you definitely want to have faith in your goalie, but you don't want to be giving up hard risk another chance here.
It was turned over in the right dot, but that shot was blocked. Keep those sticks in the shooting lanes, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is going to be a mental test for the Wildcats. Less than 5 minutes to go. You had an amazing second period. Third period's been a little bit more back and forth, a little bit less consistent offensive pressure, but smart play here, and they need to keep that up. No mental errors.
You know who I haven't seen out there this period is actually Wyatt Light. I have not seen him out there. I've seen Ethan out there, but I've not seen Wyatt Light out there. We'll kind of keep an eye on that, see if he's even on the bench right now. But
yeah, number 13 for the Utes. I don't see him at the moment. Yeah, I've just noticed. That's why I thought King might have been put on a different line, because I'm so used to seeing 13 out there with him. But he did get absolutely leveled by Dawson Marshall. He got up and he finished the period, but obviously in the new age of hockey, the idea of take your concussion, move on, get back on the ice, those days are gone. And if there's any concern for his safety or concussion, they're going to keep him out because it's the right thing to do for the player.
It's interesting, just the father, the other day, the father of Steve Monador filed his wrongful death suit. It was thrown out in federal court, but he was told he could go in state courts, and so he filed in Cook County in Chicago against the NHL. And we'll see where that one leads to, but you're right. I mean, CTE, concussions, brain injuries, everything, it's just far more serious.
Well, the modern era,
as far as the treatment of it.
Yeah, the modern era of concussion protocol seems like such a simple, solution to a big problem. And the Wildcats here are going to focus on their game.
And a shot, they score! Tucking it in from the side of the net. Josephson driving, finds a way to slide it through the 5-hole on Anderson. And the Wildcats extend their lead to 4-2.
And that was some great patience from Will Josephson. Waits out Anderson, dekes around him, tucks it right into the back of the net to give that insurance marker that the Wildcats were definitely hoping to get.
And Josephson deserves it. He's the one who picked off that clearing attempt and then just drove it in towards that post, and Anderson just somehow was unable to cover the 5-hole. That should be an unassisted goal.
Give it to number 11, Will Josephson. That is Josephson, unassisted. Time to your Wildcat goal, 16 minutes, 21 seconds in the third period.
Boy, that is huge, especially this late in the hockey game. And now with 3:15 and counting to go in the third, we'll keep an eye on Anderson and see if Utah, down by 2, elects to pull the goaltender early and really try to put more pressure on.
Well, what I'm really interested to see here is if they get a little
Here's
bit.
a break ahead. Lowell on the right side. And wrist shot. He put it over top of the net. Now, Jones tried to put one towards the net as well. But, boy, the Wildcats aren't done. They're going to keep pushing.
Yeah, that was a great little breakout. Yeah, and here they go again.
Turned over at center. Lowell back in, has help with him. Lowell backs off, looking to pass, lost the handle. And now it's punched back up towards the point. Right side, Timor with it. He'll get it back across, and a shot by Hedgecock blocked, but came right to Timor. Hedgecock on the left side. Wrist shot, handled by Anderson.
You got Utes players laying out all over the ice trying to block a shot.
2:23 and counting here in the third. Taking a look at Anderson. He's staying in the net right now as Utah's failing to get the puck deep, and they turn it over again. Here's Litwin driving the other way. They'll just try to send it towards the net. That one's picked off. But every moment they spend in that Utah zone, they can't get the goalie out of there. Anderson signaling to the bench, wanting to know if he should get out of there. No icing on this dump in, but they're still not calling him over.
No possession for the Utes. This would have come right back the other way, just like it is right now.
Here's Fisher, right side, leaving in space. Johansson had his stick checked as he tried to get the shot away. Orfanos with a puck at his skates, trying to kick it free, knocked down. Puck is still there, and nice job by Arizona to win those battles. Yeah. Shively will put it deep. We have $1:36 to go.
Orfanos using the body, the skates, the stick, anything he can do to break up that pass. And here the Utes are again back in their own zone trying to find an outlet with only 1:27 to go. 2 down.
And every second that Arizona waits out Utah, and they force a turnover again. And the Utah just cannot get the puck out of the zone. They turn it over again in the slot. There's a wrist shot. That one is blocked. And now Anderson looking at the bench. And they're still not going to call him over. Now he goes with 1:05 to go. 4-2 Arizona. Puck centered and tipped out the other side of the crease.
And Myers got his head up all the way looking for that empty net. Fisher just couldn't find him there.
Utah trying to push their way back in here on the left wing side. And Arizona now has to finally fall back defensively. There's a chance. Pavalsik, nice save on the redirect in front by Mickle. Off-angle chance did not get through. Another try, punched out by the blocker of Pavalsik. Puck in the line, roller, and that is snagged and held. Pavalsik climbing the ladder to get that one with 35.5 seconds to go here in the third.
That was a half-decent vertical from Pavalsik there. Jumps up, leaves the skates, snags the puck. Flashy way to finish off the last 35 seconds here.
Air Biv.
Now, this has been a great effort from the Wildcats. I really thought after those 2 goals they gave up early, you know, they could have gotten down on themselves, felt like, oh, it's the first 2 games of the season all over again. But they refused to be. They felt embarrassed after those first 2 games. And I think that's one reason these 2 games have been so personal, is that they weren't close games in Utah. Utah blew them out, and the Wildcats were determined to make sure that in their own building they return the favor. They've been close games here, but the Wildcats have really shown that they're more than capable of being better than they were in the first 2 games of the season.
35.5 seconds to go here. 4-2, pardon me. Arizona leading Utah, so they have a nice cushion here. And thanks to that late third period goal by Josephson, picked off the outlet pass in the slot, tucked it in through the 5-hole on Anderson.
And besides the goals tonight, this is going to be a good game for video for the Wildcats to see what they can do to really keep themselves in a hard-fought game.
And Utah is a tough team. This is a very good hockey team. There's a chance to the far side off the tip of the mitt on Pavalsik. Puck ends up in that far side corner. Sent into the slot onto the right side. Langenbrunner looking for something, anything, couldn't find it. Tried to put it up top, a shot. That one over top of the cage. 16 seconds to go. Puck at the left point, Dix holding it in. And again, Langenbrunner a chance, save made Pavalsik. On the near side, it is sent down towards the empty net, but wide. Josephson took a shot at it, couldn't hit it, and I guess they waved off the icing. Clock continues and runs out. Wildcats win it.
Great character win here for the Wildcats all around. A game they wanted to win by a bigger margin than yesterday, and they did.
Moeller shot the puck into one of the Wildcats at the end there of the game, and then got the puck returned into his skates. I don't know if we're going to get a handshake here at the end of the series or not. If we do, it might be a little crunchy.
Well, I think because of the COVID protocols, they're going to stand at the line and stare each other down, but This Utah team is a little bit ornery.
Well, and a big win for the Wildcats here today, too. I mean, they got it done. They fell behind early, and then they were able to come back. 4 unanswered goals. They win it 4-2 here this afternoon. That is a huge victory on home ice for this Arizona Wildcats hockey team. And good for Nolan Bavalsik to put one in the win column as well.
Let's see if there's a few more words here exchanged. As Utah's going to take their time getting off the ice, skating through the U of A players. I'm not quite sure what they're hoping to get out of this.
Well, that's obviously Arizona. Coach Chad Berman is trying to herd his players back into the circle. It's nothing to see here, boys. We got the W.
And they're going to salute the home crowd. And we're going to have Matt Tiart down on the ice for our post-game interviews. Coach Chad Berman and a player that he chooses. I think Utah is clogging up the Zamboni doors where Matt would usually get out there.
Might not have a chance to get him out there on time, and I don't blame him for not wanting to get out there while everything might have been brewing. But he, let's see if he gets out there.
I like to see this though. You know,
there he goes.
You got Ben Jones coming together with a member of the Utah Utes, shaking hands, talking a little bit. This is a hard-fought game, and these teams don't like each other. But after that whistle blows, you're both competitors, you're both athletes. And Matt T. Hart is going to come down, have a chat with George Orfanos. We'll throw it down to Matt here at center ice at the Tucson Arena.
Check. I'm here with Jesse Lowell after a 4-2 win. The Wildcats beating Utah. Tale of 2 periods here. What was kind of the message to the team coming out of the first intermission?
Yeah, we came out pretty flat after that first period, so we just tried keeping it simple in the second, and Coach Berman really propelled us forward, and I thought we played a really good second and third period, so that was a huge win for us.
Okay. How does it feel to stay on a winning record at home, and how do you look to carry this forward into next weekend?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we lost to these guys our first weekend. We got swept at their place, so it was a nice little revenge weekend for us to get both those wins.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you.
I'm here with Coach Berman. We talked to you pregame a little bit. You started your 4th line, the energy line, pregame. How did they look to start the first period?
Well, it's always good to see that line get rewarded. They get the critical 4th goal. I mean, we knew one more was going to have to happen. They gave a good push back. That's a good hockey team. So that fourth line got us a really, really important 4th goal, and it's always good to see those guys get rewarded and set an example. Awful first period. I'm glad we responded, and all credit goes to the guys in the room.
Yeah, and again, same question to you. What was kind of the message to the team coming out for the second period, if we can keep it PG?
Actually, I didn't say a word. I let them figure it out. Sometimes it's best to put it in their hands, and I thought they responded perfectly, so all credit to the captains.
Okay. And how do you look to carry forward this momentum into next weekend's home stretch?
Well, there's certainly some things we've got to clean up. We're going to continue to improve on, but Grand Canyon's another team that beat us that we're going to continue this little revenge tour we're on.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
All right, so there you have it. And you know what? You look at this game down 2-0 after 1 period of play for the Arizona Wildcats. They come back again, the 4 unanswered goals. They had a big second period. The physical play picked up. They scored 3 times, and it was back and forth in the third. But then, as Chad Berman said, that critical 4th goal, the insurance goal, that, again, that energy line, the 4th line, you end up seeing those guys and the effort they're putting out there, and it kind of pulls everybody else along. But, you know, again, in a 60-minute hockey game, you're never going to play a perfect one. You just can't. But I think there's a lot of good things for the Wildcats to build on.
I think after that first period, I think Bavalsik was a little bit frustrated with himself on the breakaway goal he gave up. I think he's we saw later in the game how much quicker he is than what he reacted to that with. It was an early in the period in a way. I think, but after that, he settled in, did a great job, and the people in front of him were able to generate the score they needed. And getting a guy like Josephson, he's been an impact player. That line has been impactful in every game, but to see them rewarded on the score sheet gives the teammates and the coach just a little bit more joy in seeing them get rewarded for their hard work. So that is going to be all from us here at the University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. Your final score will be 4-2 against Utah. Join us next week on November 5th and 6th as GCU comes to take on the Wildcats at the Tucson Arena. See you soon.
Wildcats Hockey. Visit our website at ArizonaWildcatHockey.org, and we'll see you at the Tucson Arena for the next Arizona Wildcats home game.